Attack on Titan may be one of the biggest anime of all time, if not the biggest. It's pretty safe to say that the rollout for the final season has been far from great, and a lot of people have been left more confused than anything, as well as the fact that a lot of people are forgetting about Attack on Titan, and then the trailer will drop and we'll be like, oh, it's still coming out. And I think a big part of that is, of course, because every part of the final season has been labeled the final season part 1, the final season part 2, and the final season part 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't really matter at this point because so many people are anticipating there to be additional add-ons and additional parts of the series tagged along. I'll be going into how that affects the manga as well later on. I was a part of the crew that finished season 3, didn't read the manga, and then when I saw the trailer for Attack on Titan final season, I see Eren looking all old, and I see them clearly in Marley. I'm thinking this is actually the final season, and of course it wasn't. And then we get to final season part 2, and I was in the same boat. I was like, oh, it's actually gonna end. And now that it's on part 3 and 4 and 5, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if they throw on another final season after this wraps up. But in case you were still a little lost, this should be the final episode. I want to talk also about how they rolled this out too, more so than just titling and labels, because these last 2 parts have been 2 solo 1.5 hour long movies without the traditional anime season rollout, and they easily could have made these all 10 to 12 episodes apiece, even though the hour and a half when cut down is just 6 episodes each. But there's a lot of anime only content they could have added and a lot of other decisions they could have made in order to make this more interesting. And I think a lot of people are pretty upset that Mappa is going so clear and true to the manga, because obviously I'm not going to spoil the manga, but yes, the ending is that bad, and thus far it's been going exactly like the manga. But with that being said, the manga does ruin everything in literally the last 2 chapters, so we won't know until it's fully done if it's going to go identical to that or not. But I think considering that fact, they really could have just added in a lot of scenes, because there's a lot of characters that get left behind a lot towards the end of the manga, which is of course how most anime end, with the focus going back towards the 3 central characters in Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. I think there's a lot of ways they could have made that more interesting. A lot of time in the manga, especially in the season we already got in part 3, where Reiner decides to team up with Levi and them, and you could have really extended those scenes out a bit, because it's really awkward to watch. It's literally 1 episode and then all of a sudden everyone's on the same side. Everyone forgives Annie immediately. It's just like there was a lot of ways that Mappa could have made this better by knowing how disappointed people were at the manga endings. And also, I want to talk about the time in between each single season dropping. I believe Attack on Titan final season part 1 aired in 2020 and is now gonna finish airing in basically 2024, even though it is 2023. But a lot of people are forgetting about a lot of the key stuff, myself included. Even though I've read the manga, it really has taken away from it, because you're not watching it over a prolonged period of time anymore. You're watching 1 episode, and now you're waiting 4 months for the next one to come out. And especially the first 1.5 hour long episode, I believe that's labeled part 4, wasn't even that great. It wasn't that hype. You had Hanj dying, which was way better in the anime than it was in the manga. I'll say, in the manga, Hanj killed 1 colossal titan, and then she just dies. And you're just like, what was the point of that? But even in the anime, even though she killed more, the way that scene was executed with the titans coming after them, like, did she really save that much more time? I don't know. But anyways, when you're looking at how they structured the season, especially with the rumbling and how they're doing the flashbacks with the characters and how they're executing Eren, it just feels very rushed, which is really ironic because they chose to go this route. And I'm not sure, there's some business incentive, some viewer incentive as to 1.5 hour long episodes being the best way to roll out a season, but I can't imagine that objectively that's the best route to go, because so much of your audience isn't as in tune with the series. And I still don't know if this is just me and if everyone else is like this, but having it split apart and spread out this much has really made me forget about the series in general. And when it comes out, we're gonna go there, we're gonna watch it, it's gonna be hype, it's definitely gonna be exciting because it is one of the best anime of all time. But at the end of the day, it's gonna come and go, and then we're really gonna just forget about it because we haven't really been watching it for this long period of time. Like, compare that to Shibuya and JJK. We were gonna be watching Shibuya all the way out till winter and Christmas, and basically from the end of summer till Christmas, JJK has been on top of everything. But whereas with Attack on Titan, we're gonna get 1 week, 1 episode, everyone's gonna watch it, and then we're all gonna move on. What really makes that frustrating is that you know that they want to create more Attack on Titan content, and you can see this with the fact that they keep on releasing bonus chapters for the manga every so often. And I think there's a lot of ways they could have extended the series without us feeling like they were just dragging it out. I don't even know if they care about dragging it out, considering how many final seasons there's been. I think the big question you have to ask yourself with the manga and all these bonus chapters is there going to be some sort of spin-off series after this? I definitely think there will be some form of long spin-off anime only-esque series to start, because at the end of the day, as we've seen with Boruto and Dragon Ball, you can continuously create spin-off series, and even though it won't be as good, if all of these studios keep on doing it, that means they have to be bringing in some kind of serious money and cash flow from them. Even though the general fan might not keep up to the next series, I definitely think the hardcores will, because there's so many people. It's Attack on Titan, man. It's one of the most cosplayed series out there. It's one of the most watched and reread series out there, because seasons 1 through 3 especially were absolutely perfect. I definitely think, seeing how MAPPA took liberties with Jujutsu Kaisen and Hell's Paradise, I definitely want them to take more liberties with Attack on Titan, especially the end, because some of the stuff in the end is gonna piss you off so bad, and you're gonna feel so betrayed for watching and reading the series for all of this time for them to really drop the ball in the ending. I don't know how much more they can really change, considering the fact that they've already done a lot of the stuff that almost locked them into some of their decisions. Also, I wonder if people are still going to be excited for this series. Is there still hype and reason to care about Attack on Titan, considering the fact that 1, it's been the final season for like 4 years now, and 2, the seasons have been spread out and dragged up so much, and so much time has passed since we've seen the last episode, and so much time has been spent watching other series. Is Attack on Titan still going to be the king? Honestly, it definitely will be king for a week, but I don't know how much longer it will be than that. And I definitely think if they do release some sort of spin-off, we're all going to watch it, and we're also going to somehow try and make the argument that Attack on Titan still isn't that bad and they broke the sequel curse. So with that being said, let me know what you think about their whole rollout of this down below. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and check out this one on Jujutsu Kaisen being the king of anime. And don't forget, we're just getting started, we're going to stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.